UFC Fight Night takes place tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe. All the prelims. The main event, Ian Garry taking on Carlos Prates. My brother from the Fighting Nerds. You already know who I'm going with there. Let's take a quick look at this 14 fight card. We're going to have 14 fights, barring any last minute cancellations. You know we don't like that. I apologize if you're picking up a lot of ambient noise. I got my windows open and I'm coming to you live from Brooklyn. You know how I do. We had some fun last week on that recap, didn't we? You don't even know I was gonna milk it. I was gonna put up a video of Volk in that 5th round. You know how he was sidestepping? I was gonna speed it up a little bit more than it actually looked like. Look at him run. Look at him run. Well, to show Diego dropping him. Like, look at him get rocked. Look at him get rocked. And then I put the running back on and then show his post-press conference and look at his face. Oh, man, I was going to have a field day. But then I got bored. Most of my replies were being censored by YouTube. Can't even say shit anymore. I didn't like that. So I just stopped bothering replying. Dumbass MMA fans. But yeah, it's all good. Hopefully nobody got their feelings hurt over some words. I know one guy was tripping. He called me a female body part. Oh no. Never heard anything so vile before in my life. Let's get into the predictions. Alright, before we start, I should note that I am going back to my old format of doing my predictions and my bets on Friday. I should have never changed the format to begin with. Look how bad I did last time at 314. 0 for 5 on my official bets. That was a sad display. I didn't even get the over 2.5 bet. That's almost like a short thing. Didn't even get that shit. But yeah, I'm going to be doing my predictions early in the week. Send it over to the UFC Predictions Tracker channel so Robin can compile all his information. Shout out to Robin at the UFC Predictions Tracker channel. Alright, enough shout outs to that channel. Wonder how many other prediction channels are actually giving you props on their videos. No more free advertising from Cesar Leo. So since I've already made my predictions, the way it's going to go from this point on, the way I'm going to do my predictions is simple. I'm just going to show you who I picked. This first female match on the night between Chelsea Chandler and Jocelyn Edwards La Pentetta. Isn't that Yair's nickname? You need to get yourself a new nickname, girl. I don't like when people use other people's names, specifically my own. I had the misfortune of Googling Cesar Leo last week, and oh my God, my eyes was hurting. For the record, I have never made no whack rap tracks and put them out with some Rocky Balboa face cover on that shit. Oh my God, stop using my name, you fake Cesar Leos out there. This is the real Cesar Leo. Wrote that name on the internet before it was even called the internet in 1989. Yeah, I've been around a long time. On the Prodigy Bulletin Service is when Cesar Leo first came alive. And I am the original. Hold that. So Jocelyn, you are my pick. There's no way I'm picking Chelsea Chandler. This girl knows the runaway technique. There's no way I'm placing my bet or my prediction on somebody who does this. You have to be a damn fool. So we're going to go with Edwards. We're going to say it's a decision. Could Edwards get the finish here? Possibly. But Chandler might just run away for 3 rounds and, decision time. We move on to the second fight on the card, Timmy Kwamba versus Roberto Romero. Now, this was a match I was kind of going back and forth on for sure. Timmy Kwamba, Twilight, taking on Romero. Both fighters, I believe, are coming off losses. Look, 2 for Kwamba. But it was against Pelagioki and Lucas Almeida. And last time we saw Romero, he lost to Onama. And had a win in the Combat Global organization. See, I just don't know enough about Romero. That's why I'm and I already picked Timmy Kwamba as my prediction. Here's where it gets tricky. I'm going to say it's a decision fight. And let's just move on to the third fight in the second ladies match of the night. Is it only 2 ladies fighting on the card? I think so. Jacqueline Amaram taking on Polyana Viana. We got to go with Jackie. And yes, we're going decision. Enough thoughts on that fight. We move on to Cameron Simon taking on Malcolm Wellmaker. I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot about Wellmaker. I do know the last time we saw Simon, he took that beating from Peyton Talbot. That was a year ago. Still fresh in mind. I'm pretty sure he's been cow prodded a few times in South Africa for a year now since that loss. They got an interesting way of training down there. But I'm going to say Malcolm Wellmaker gets the KO TKO in round 2. We move on to Damon Blackshear taking on Alatane Haley. The Mongolian Knight taking on the Monster Blackshear. I think everyone's picking sub on this one for sure. And I'm going to stick with the format. But what round does it happen in? We're going to go with round 1. We move on to Chris Gutierrez taking on John Castaneda. El Guapo taking on Sexy Mexi. This fight was supposed to take place, I believe, a month or 2 ago already. Been scheduled more than once, that's for damn sure. My pick was Gutierrez, and I am not changing my pick. I'm going to say he wins by decision. We move on to Evan Elder taking on the newcomer Gage Young. The Phenom taking on G Money. And the only G Money I know was in New Jack City, and you ain't him. So that's why we're going with Evan Elder to get it done. Do we think it's going to be a submission, KO, or decision? I think it's going to be a close contest. I don't know why I think that. Maybe it won't be. Maybe Gage is coming to fight. I'm going to say it's going to be a decision. We move on to Matt Schnell taking on Jimmy Flick. Battle of the Cans right here. And I have already predicted Jimmy Flick as my selection earlier in the week. And I think he's going to pull off that surprise submission. We're going to say it happens in round 2. We move on to the main card. Ikram Aliskerov taking on Andre Muniz. I think everybody is taking Ikram on this one. Going up against Sergi Bano. I'm going to go Ikram. We're going to say he gets the knockout. We're going to say it happens in round 2. We move on to Rude Boy Randy Brown taking on Nicholas Dalby. I got to go with Randy Brown for sure on this one. And I think it's going to be a knockout. And we're also going to go for a second round knockout in this one. You know what? Let's make it a first round. I just think it's going to end quick. We move on to Michelle Pereira taking on Abus Magomedov. This is an interesting one. I've already picked Michelle as my pick. He did lose that last time, the Fluffy, the last time we saw him. Abus on a 2-fight, is it Abus or Abus? On a 2-fight win streak. Who cares? We're going with my Brazilian brother to get the knockout in round 1. It's going to be quick. We move on to Giga Chikadze taking on David Onama. I went back and forth on this one too. Ultimately, I'm going with the dog. I believe he still is a dog right now. Giga to get it done over the silent assassin, even though he's coming off of a loss to Arnold Allen. That is a loss to Arnold Allen. And David Onama is on a 3-fight win streak. But I just think Giga's got something to prove out there. We're going to say he wins this by decision. Although, are we going to pick decision? Yeah, we're just gonna stick with the decision. We move on to Lionheart Anthony Smith in his retirement fight taking on Ming Yang Zhang. And I swear, if he's the parlay killer again this outing, I will flip out. We will package and ship Ming Yang back with Zhao Nan with a 200% tariff. If you lose this fight, Ming Yang, I swear, do not lose to this orc. Send him into retirement with a bloody knockout in round 1. We move on to the main event. Ian Machado Garry taking on my boy Carlos Prates. You already know I'm going with my brother Prates to get the knockout. And it's gonna be something for the highlight reel. And it's gonna happen in round 2. I don't know why I'm picking a lot of round 2 knockouts. It's just the way I'm feeling. And hopefully that's exactly how it goes down. Let's get into the bets. My first bet is my official predictions, my 14-pick parlay, plus 90,000. Yeah, that's probably $5 right out the window. Let's be honest here. Alright, we're going to have 5 official bets on the night. My first bet, I'm going with Jacqueline Amarin and Pauliana Viana. I am taking the prop bet to say that the fight will start the 3rd round. I have faith in Pauliana being able to take a beating. She was rolling around with Alex. You know, Alex was so busy training hard for his fight against Magomedov. He wasn't rolling around with Nina. He was rolling around with Pauliana. And I think she's going to be able to take a beating now. So hopefully she wins me my first bet. I think that's kind of funny. The odds makers have no faith in Viana. If you look at DK, you know how the default is usually over 2.5 on a ladies match. It says over 1.5 as the default, and that's a minus 110, which might have been the safer play here, but I'm trying to get some plus money. Our second bet is going to be Damon Blackshear to win by submission at plus 165. Come on, Blackshear. Do it for your boy, Cesar Leo. Then we're going to have Jimmy Flick pulling off the upset submission on Matt Schnell at plus 300. It could happen. Then we are going to have Michelle Pereira winning by knockout at plus 200. I think it's a realistic bet that can happen. Will it happen, though? That's the big question. And for our 5th and final official bet, I'm going with Carlos Prates to win by knockout at plus 165 on Ian Machado Garry. Yeah. Here's a situation where, like 314, I'm thinking about the Lopez and Volk fight, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, it's Lopez's first 5-round championship fight. He's going up against a guy with about as much 5-round championship experience that you can find on the roster. Logically, all of these thoughts running through my mind. But of course, what I had previously mentioned on a previous video, I said the one mistake most bettors and predictors make is we pick who we like. And of course, you're gonna second guess yourself if you end up picking up the fighter you want to see win. And you're gonna question yourself and say, well, did you pick him because you think he can win? Or you really want him to win? And in this case, I believe it's a combination of both, to be honest. Who wouldn't want to see Ian Garry get knocked out? Come on. Let's do the parlay pick of the night. For the parlay pick of the night, we are going with a 5-pick parlay straight on the money line. Randy Brown, Michelle Pereira, Giga, Zhang, and Prates to get the wins. That is at plus 1454. Realistically, come on, I gotta hit some of these legs on this parlay. Let's go. Let's put up the official predictions and my official bets. This is what I'm going with. I haven't changed my predictions. I just gave you my bets. Good luck to everybody betting on tomorrow's event. I think we're all excited to finally have another UFC event. Am I right? And let's just see how it goes. I think we've got high expectations, and hopefully the event reaches those expectations and beyond. I will see you for the recap on Sunday. I will try to do it right after the event finishes, but no promises. But we'll see. All right, I'll see you next time.